Today we will start something new because if we continue with only one page and one topic, it is not possible that we will complete this Tarungal book soon because it has around 544 page. That means it will take us 2 years to complete this book. So I think I will start with some other topics which are important, which I am also reading, and I will read this out from this book. So today we will do the president. Article 50 to 78 in part 5 of the constitution deal with the union executive. The union executive consists of president, vice president, prime minister, council of minister, and attorney general of India. President is the executive head of the state. He is the first citizen of India. The executive powers vested in the president are to be exercised on the advice of the council of ministers responsible to the parliament. The 42nd amendment to the constitution has made it obligatory on the part of the president to accept the advice of the council of ministers. That is, 42nd amendment to the constitution has made it obligatory on the part of the president to accept the advice of the council of ministers. What is the qualification for president? That he must be a citizen of India, he must have completed 35 years in age, the person must be eligible to be a member of Lok Sabha, must not hold any office of profit, that is government post. Exceptions are president and vice president, governor of any state, minister of union or state. Means president and vice president, governor of any state, and minister of union or state can again be president even if they don't leave this post. And how the election happens for president? Article 54 and 55 lay down the procedure for electing the president. The nomination of a candidate must be subscribed by at least 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders. Every candidate has to make a security deposit of Rs 15,000 in the Reserve Bank of India. The security deposit is liable to be forfeited in case the candidate fails to secure more than 1/6 of the valid votes polled. Indirectly elected through electoral college consists of elected member of both the House of Parliaments and elected member of the legislative assemblies of the states. That is, who can vote for president? They are indirectly elected through electoral college consists of elected member of both the House of Parliament and elected member of the legislative assemblies of the state. No nominated member. According to the 70th Amendment Act 1992, the expression states include the National Capital Territory of Delhi and the UT of Puducherry. Members of the legislative councils have no right to vote in the presidential election. The total voting strength of the parliament is equal to the total voting strength of all state assemblies together. There is uniformity in the representation of different states at the president's election according to the population and the total number of elected members of the legislative assembly of each state. The formula adopted to secure uniformity among the state is as follows. Value of vote of an MLA is equal to state population divided by 1000 into total number of elected MLAs of that state. On the basis of the above formula, the value of the vote of an MLA from UP has the highest value and that from Sikkim is the lowest. The formula adopted to secure uniformity between all the states on one hand and the parliament on the other is as follows. Value of vote of an MP is equal to total value of votes of MLAs of all state divided by total number of elected MPs, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The 1971 census is currently under consideration. The election is held through the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote by secret ballot. The candidates who get 50% of the vote is considered elected. It was pointed out in the Constitution Assembly that proportional representation is meaningless when there is only one candidate to be elected. Moreover, the single transferable vote does not exist here because nobody has a single vote. Everybody has plural votes. Answering these doubts, Dr. Ambedkar explained that we have provided one single proportional representation in which every candidate at the bottom will be eliminated until we reach the one man who gets what is called a quota. This means, he said, was adopted so that the minorities will have some hand and some play in the election of the president. He refused to explain how it would work in the case there is only one man to be elected. Constitutional analysts aver that it is really what is known as the alternative vote. Electoral quota is equal to number of votes polled divided by number of votes, that is 1 plus 1, then in whole it will be plus 1. By this method, each voter is entitled to cast as many votes as there are candidates in the field, indicating the order of his preferences. If in the first counting no candidate obtains the requisite quota, the process of transfer of votes is set in motion. The ballots of the candidate securing the last number of first preference votes are cancelled, and his second preference votes are added to the first preference votes of other candidates. This process continues until a candidate with the requisite quota emerges. Thus, the candidate who receives the largest number of votes on the first count is not necessarily the final choice. This procedure ensures that the president-elect has an absolute majority behind him. Supreme Court inquires all disputes regarding president election. The election can be challenged in Supreme Court by a candidate or at least 20 electors. For vice president, at least 10 electors within 30 days of declaration of result. Here it is a note. In the history of presidential elections, V.V. Giri is the only person who won the election of the president as an independent candidate in 1969. His election was the only case in which second preference votes were counted. In July 1977, Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy was elected unopposed as no one else filed nomination for the post of president. Takes oath in presence of Chief Justice of India or in his absence, senior most judge of Supreme Court. Terms and emoluments. 5-year term from the date on which he enters upon his office. Article 57 says that there is no upper limit on the number of times a person can become president. Can give resignation to vice president before full term. Present salary is rupees 5 lakhs per month, including allowance and emoluments. The pension is 50% of the last salary drawn. Emoluments and allowances cannot be diminished during the term of office. It is written in Article 59. Impeachment of president. It is in Article 61. It is the quasi-judicial procedure, and president can be impeached only on the ground of violation of constitution. The impeachment procedure can be initiated in either house of the parliament. The charge must come in the form of a proposal which must be signed by at least 1/4 of the total membership of that house. Before the resolution could be passed, a 14 days notice must be given to the president. If after the notice the house passes the resolution by a majority of not less than 2/3 members of the total membership of that house, the matter will be referred to the other house. After the charges are framed by one house, the other house investigates them. At this time, president has the right to defend himself either in person or through his lawyer. If after the investigation the other houses pass the resolution by not less than 2/3 majority of that house, the president stands impeached from his office from the date on which the motion is so passed. Vacancy. In case the office fall vacant due to death, resignation or removal, the vice president acts as a president. If he is not available, then Chief Justice. If not, then the senior most judge of Supreme Court. Then when any person is discharging the function of president, he enjoys all the powers, immunities, emoluments, allowances and privileges of the president. The election is to be held within 6 months of the vacancy. Only once in the history of India, Justice M. Hidayatullah, Chief Justice of Supreme Court, discharged the duties of president in 1969. And Justice Hidayatullah is the only person to perform the function of the president 2 times in 2 different capacities. The first time in 1969 being the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and the second time being the Vice President of India in 1982. So, and then we will read about this president powers afterward, because already this video is long. I intend to do small videos of maximum 10 minutes. So I am ending this video. We will again read about the powers of president. Thank you.